Okay, guys, so we're going to be doing 4 different parent functions today. These different functions are the ones you're going to see throughout the semester. Okay, so I'm here on Desmos. This is our graphing calculator. It's linked in the Google Classroom. All right, our first one we're going to do is our absolute value. Okay. You can do absolute value one of 2 ways. All of these I'm going to start with y equals, and you can either use the bars, which are located above the enter key. You just need to press shift and then that enter key. And then we can type in X and press that same button. Okay, that's one way you can type in the absolute value. If you cannot find that button, or if for some reason your computer doesn't have it, you can type ABS and then in parentheses put X, and it'll do the same thing. It'll give you the absolute value of X. Okay, now let's look at this graph. Okay, you can see it's V-shaped, and it has one point where it turns around. We call that point the vertex. Okay, here it's located at 0, 0. Again, if we ever want to look at the values for this graph, we just need to click the gear and then click convert to table. And what you'll notice is no matter what the input is for this, it always outputs the positive value of that number. Okay? And remember, if you ever want to see what this function is evaluated at, say, I don't know, 17, you just need to type in 17 into that bar. Okay, so that's absolute value. The next one we're going to look at is quadratics. Quadratics has to deal with squaring an x, okay? So there could be more to this. There could be a plus 3x minus 5, something like that. But this is what we call the parent function of it, the most basic quadratic we can make, okay? And if you want to get this 2 up there, you need to press Shift 6, and you'll get up in the exponents. Shift 6. It's a little caret looking thing, okay? What you'll notice about this is it has a vertex as well, a turning point, a lowest point, okay? And it kind of is shaped like a U. If we look at its table, it does the same thing, okay, as the absolute value when it spits out only positive numbers. The reason it does that is because a negative times a negative still gives out a positive. One thing that does change from the absolute value is all of these values are now being multiplied by themselves. So 2 times 2 gives me 4, and this thing grows a lot quicker than the absolute value grows. We can look at 17, instead of 17 now, it's all the way up to 289, okay? So you can see this one grows a lot quicker than that absolute value. Okay. The next one we're going to look at is our square root function. We may not look too much in depth at this one, but it is the inverse function of the quadratic that we just looked at. Also, y equals. If we want to do a square root, if you just type S, Q, R, and T, you will get a square root. Again, that's S, Q, R, T, okay? Put an X in there, and what you'll notice is this starts at 0, 0, and then just continues on forever into the X's, okay? This one grows a lot slower, and you'll notice since it ends at 0, everything else underneath 0 is what we call undefined, okay? You cannot take the square root of a negative number and get any kind of real number out of it, okay? That's why we say that those are undefined. And again, you can see that this one grows even slower than the absolute value does. Okay, so this one kind of looks like part of a hill that's cut off, something like that, okay? All right. Our last equation that we're going to be looking at this semester is our exponential equation. Basically what we're going to do is we're going to create the quadratic equation, except we're going to switch where the x and the 2 are. Okay, so this is one of our basic exponential equations, 2 to the power of x. Now, what you can see here is this does not go below 0, okay, because it's impossible to get this to spit out anything less than 0, okay? We'll talk about that later, about why that happens. But what you'll see is you'll see one little point here, 0, 1, and then it's going to start to grow very, very, very quickly, okay? You can see it starts at 0, 1, 1, 2, 2, 4, and you can see once we get to 17, it's up to 131,072. This is our fastest growing equation we are going to look at, okay? This is our exponential growth. All right, guys? So answer those few questions at the bottom of this, and you'll be good. All right? Have a good day.